Where'd my model go? Oh well. Hello again! And welcome to some more Genshin Impact. Yes, you can see it says right there, Genshin Impact. So that's what we're going to be playing today. I am curious to see where the next case may lead us. Last time we learned a lot about Navia's past and about her relationship to a lot of the other characters, especially Cloint and Neuvillette. And now we're going to try and investigate the old murder case of her father, I'm guessing, to try and finally clear his name after all these years. And I suppose we should just get right on that, shouldn't we? Play this game, yes. First turnabout. Yeah, you can see it right there. Here's Navia, and here's her father, and this is I don't know, probably the culprit. We will learn about this as we go. Yes. Yeah, see? And we're in the game. I can't tell what you're worried about. Hold on, where did the audio go? That's what I should be worried about. Where's the audio? There it is, I hope. Hello?
Thank you for arranging everything for us, Malus.
There we go. Right, we were about to...
Excuse me, miss. Do you need anything from us?
Right, remember the time my dad killed your dad? That was a thing that happened. Do you want to talk about it? Oh, she is not having any of it.
Hey, Navia's all quiet. This isn't like her at all.
Paimon, she does kind of have a lot
I'm
going
sorry.
through her head right here.
I only came to visit after all this time. After what happened, I didn't know how I was supposed to face the two of you.
Ah, if it's about that, there's no need to apologize. After my husband died, Spina di Rosula sent us a lot of mora and support. I understood your guilt and apology to be genuine.
But aren't all of those things nothing compared to the loss of Jacques?
Yeah, but... Could have just accepted that one, Navi. It was gonna make things even more awkward.
I can understand the kind of pain that comes with losing a father so needlessly.
You don't understand at all.
I didn't know how to face you, because I didn't know what I could possibly bring as a consolation gift. I know only the full truth could bring closure to you, and to all of us.
Oh, she's not having any of it.
I'm sorry. I appreciate the sentiment, but you don't have to carry all that guilt. On the matter regarding my husband, my daughter and I have more or less found our answer already.
Would you mind sharing it with me? I really can't believe that my father could ever bring himself to shoot Jacques.
I always knew that my husband's money was earned through others' suffering. He told me countless times that if he could turn back the clock, he would never go into the synth business again. He had many regrets, and felt that he took the idea of providing for his family too literally. For the longest time, he thought mora was everything. So when Mr. Callis came to him with a proposal, he accepted it almost immediately. He tried to be as careful as he could, but even so, he was still found out by the higher-ups.
They found out about his betrayal?
I mean, obviously. Otherwise, you would have murdered him, right?
Papa didn't say that exactly, but Papa did tell me that I should never be ungrateful.
Before he left that day, he told me that he had no choice. It was only later that I realized it was his final farewell to the two of us.
Wait. That's it?
I don't know that for sure.
I was about to say.
But you could say that's the conclusion I eventually came to.
I doubt that, to be honest.
which is why I'm the one who should feel guilty. Callus had always taken great care of us, both when he was still alive and after he passed away. Even if he fired the shot that killed my husband, it was likely in self-defense. It is impossible for me to hate him for what he had done.
But Mama, why is Papa still the bad guy if he did the right thing?
Oh, Del, there isn't always a bad guy and a good guy, I'm
Papa
afraid.
always wanted to be a good man. So why did he have to do a bad thing in the end?
Well, things aren't always as they seem. You still feel like your papa was a good man, right?
Yeah, Papa was a really good man. The best in the whole world.
Then you should hold on to that. If a good man had to do a bad thing, then he must have had his reasons.
Oh god, that voice crack almost broke me as well. Aww. Going from the silly joke at the start now to this level of pain. God damn it, game, why do you do this to me?
Regardless of whether he left you a parasol or a sword, he must have done so to give you a better life.
Oh, the person, the sword.
Oh.
Hi, Nico, by the way. You caught me at a bad time. You're really trying not to cry.
Thank you for everything you've
Oh,
told me.
man.
I will definitely find the truth. The current state of things is not something I'm willing to just sit back and accept.
Thank you. I'm very grateful to hear this from you. Even though your personality is quite different from your father's, your determination when you speak is really similar.
I'm here to watch you. Hey, what the fuck? Just getting bullied by her chat, then there's that. What the hell kind of emotionally abusive relationship is this?
You really think so? That's the first time anyone said that to me.
Testimony from Jack's family. Jack's family believes that he had struggled greatly with the order to kill Callus. Did Callus act in self-defense, or was there more to the incident? Well, there definitely was more to the incident. That's why we're here, to figure it out.
Are you okay, Navia?
I'm fine. Don't worry. Let's investigate the 3 suspects next. The lab should be nearby, and we should be able to find Thierry and Uncle Marcel in the city.
Greetings, boss. How may I be of assistance today?
Hey there, dirty wet. Oh, well, potentially dirty wet. Let's see if this wet is clean or
I'm
not.
sure you've heard about what happened at the Opera House. Someone got turned into water right in front of us.
Yeah, I've heard. With something that dramatic, I'm sure journalists will milk it for all it's worth. And it'll be all the talk for the next several weeks.
It also reminded me, on the day that the incident happened with my father, it was raining outside, and we found some clothes left at the scene. After my partner here put the dots together for me, I feel like we should try to reopen his case. Can you do me a favor and try to recall what happened that night?
The side-eye he gave us.
Let me think. Mr. Callus was feeling pretty upbeat that day. So he was drinking and bantering away with us at the table. After that, he told us that he wanted to go get some fresh air. So we let him go without thinking much of it. Who knew that we would hear 2 gunshots ring out right after? My first reaction was that Mr. Callus's life was in danger. So I grabbed my holster and made a mad dash toward the scene. But when I got there, it was already too late. Mr. Callus was standing over a dead body with a gun in his hands. All we could do was look back and forth at each other, not knowing what to say.
So you also remember 2 gunshots then?
Indeed. The guard said that the first shot didn't hit anyone, while the second killed Jacques. But I've never really bought that explanation.
Me neither.
Reason being, Mr. Callus had left his gun on the table. I even made sure to confirm that before running to the scene. But according to the guards, that doesn't mean he couldn't have had other guns on his person. About the clothes left at the scene that you mentioned. Do you think there was a third person there who was turned into water?
Yep.
At least from our perspective, my father had no reason to kill. So he would also have no reason to bring an extra gun with him. The gun he was holding probably belonged to Jacques, or a third person on the scene.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So you're saying Mr. Callus ended up with the gun because he seized it from one of the other guys?
Potentially, yeah. But I still don't think that Jacques was ordered to. I doubt that Jacques was planning to kill
But
Mr.
hold on.
Callus.
If that's what had happened, then why didn't he share the truth with any of us? He didn't even want to face the Oratrice machine, and chose instead to prove his honor in a duel. Did he lose all faith in the courts after seeing someone dissolve right in front of his eyes?
That's actually a possibility, yeah.
About that, Malus told me a thing or two. So, I think I can understand
Yeah, and
why he
also
committed to the duel.
the whole disease thing.
I'll tell you everything once the whole truth has been revealed.
I understand. Then I'll leave Mr. Callus's honor in your hands, boss. And if I may just say one more thing. The whole Callus the Unfaithful epithet has been a thorn in my side since the day it was invented. Many people have laughed at me for still calling him Mr. Callus, even after so many years have passed.
I still want to know how long ago that was. Like we keep hearing many years ago, but it couldn't have been too long. So maybe like 3, 4, 5, maybe. Also, Primordial Soup, please do not drink people. Advice in general: do not drink other humans. That is.
But it was Mr. Callus's trust that allowed me to rise through the ranks of Spina di Rosula and live the life I lead today. No matter what others might say, he'll always be the man I respect the most. And he'll always be my boss.
Still wonder what they now that I think about it, what the hell did they did with the did they do with the puddle in the courtroom? Did they just leave it there? Did someone come along with a mop and wash away the remains of the guy? Like, god damn it.
Don't worry. I will definitely find the truth. You and all our other comrades at the Spina deserve to know the truth as well.
Florent, the advisor to the Spina di Rosula, claimed that he was very grateful to Callus for his kindness. He was also present at the banquet on the day of the case, and can provide evidence that Callus did not carry a gun with him when he went out. The Water Mafia. I mean, that's basically the plot here, yeah. Good. Can I just still talk about how fancy the selection screen is? And the little animations and the little poses. They do so much. Like, it's one of these things, one of these little quality of life changes that you're never going to notice after this patch. At least not like consciously. But the second it would disappear, you could not go back. You could not play the older versions of the game anymore without really missing this little feature. They're all children. I mean, most team has a child, but not all of them are children. I'm not sure if I would call this man a child. Well, at least not physically. If we're talking mentally, then that's probably a very different story for Ito, so maybe I should have chosen a better example. Anyway. Oh, so he's just standing here. Hello there.
Hey, Thierry, it's me.
Oh, now, what brings you here, Miss Navia? I've heard that you made quite the name for yourself at the Opera House.
Oh, so you've got news of that already.
Oh, okay. Hey, I'm also a member of the guards, you know. The way you make it sound, people would think I was sent off to Poisson because I had done something wrong.
Ah, speaking of done something wrong, there was also talk of that prison complex. I don't think that's on the map yet, actually. That might be an area we unlock later down the line, now that I think about it. Because they do still have the whole gap between Liyue and Fontaine to fill.
Are you sure there isn't a little bit of truth in that? Under normal circumstances, shouldn't you have been called back to the city already?
I mean, where I work is really up to me. Let's just say I enjoy the ambiance of Poisson.
It is a pretty
Alice
area.
did a fantastic job running the town, building Spina di Rasula from the ground up and clearing many obstructions in my way.
Even if the area is still, technically speaking, just called fish.
It would be next to impossible for me to find a similarly easy but high-paying job in the city. Anyway, enough chit-chat. Are these two friends of yours? You, here for some formal business?
Could say that.
Yes, these two are my partners.
They called me a partner. Sorry.
What happened at the Opera House made us realize that Linny's case and my father's may be related. We're trying to reinvestigate the details of my father's old case.
Also, somebody said that Navia has similar vibes to Yoimiya to me, and I have never felt that called out in my taste in women before in my entire fucking life. I really do have a type, don't I?
Ah, I get it.
Oh well.
You think there might be more to the case now that we know people can be dissolved into water, right? I was also flabbergasted when I first heard of it.
Also, we have a good look at her vision here. So we now know that she's apparently going to be, what's it called? Pneuma or Osha? Which one is the shadowy one? She's gonna have that one. Good to know.
If you want to go through the original files from your father's case, I can help you look for them.
That'd be much appreciated. Thank you. Actually, I have another question. Do you have the authority to dispatch Gardamex?
Of course. Without them, I couldn't possibly handle Poisson on my own. Why do you ask? We definitely can't use them to forcefully get more evidence for your father's case.
Well, you see, just recently, we were attacked by a horde of unnumbered Gardamex in the city. So, if you hypothetically wanted to do something against me, all you would need to do is get rid of the mecha serial numbers and send them after me.
Very subtle, Navia.
Then you think too highly of my abilities. Dispatching mecha is very different from controlling them. If I had to make an analogy, when you order a dish, the chef will make it for you. You can ask the chef to cook, but not to massage your shoulders or carry your baggage. If you try to make unreasonable demands, the chef would just think you're out of your mind and ignore you completely. The same goes for me and my Gardamex. Removing a serial number is also not as easy as you might think. There are a lot of complex steps to it, and it's almost impossible to keep it a secret. So I can promise you, those mecha were definitely private units.
Interesting.
Certainly not cheap. So, whoever their owner is must be super rich, powerful, or both. Now that you mention it, though, being in the synth business would definitely be profitable enough to afford this.
Huh.
Oh, then you're officially in the clear, Thierry.
Oh, thank you for the vote of confidence, Navia.
Now he's going to turn out to be the traitor.
Jokes aside, I'd like to wish you all the best with your investigation.
After all, there's still an imposter among
I'll be
us.
staying in the city for a little while, so just come find me if you need any support from the guards.
Still a cop. Yeah, that's also a good point. No, but now that I think about it, in the first quest we had venting. Now there's an imposter among us. This really is just the love child of Among Us and Ace Attorney, isn't it? Barry is the person responsible for official contact between the Spina di Rasula and the guards. According to him, only the sufficiently rich can privately own large numbers of Gardamex. However, we also have to keep in mind that one of these fuckers may be lying. And so there's always that to consider. Right then, where the hell is this Marcel? I still find the structure of the city to be a little... I don't know, it's a little weird to navigate because you have like the huge main building there. And then you basically have this pond almost that just goes down. Although, I suppose for the Nation of Water, it does seem strangely fitting, doesn't it? Although if they're ever... the sea level rises above the walls of the city,
How may I help you?
they are going to be very fucked, which is probably going to be exactly something that happens later down along this story quest, if you ask me. Oh, well, not this one, but the Archon quest series in general.
I'm here to see Marcel. Could you please let him know? You can just say Navia's looking for him.
Sure. I will let him know right away.
After waiting for a while, Marcel arrives in a hurry.
Navia, hello.
Heyo.
Keep you waiting. I'm not as young as I used to be, so my legs are giving out a bit.
Oh, it's all right, Uncle Marcel. There's no need to stress. I just wanted to talk to you briefly about what happened in the Opera House. I'm sure you saw everything too, right?
Bathtub. The city is basically just a giant bathtub, isn't it?
Yes, I've never seen anything so strange.
Dissolve enough people and you can bathe inside Fontaine. Oh god, no.
Oh, you were at the Opera House too?
That's right. I went there with Navia to see the magic show. Who knew it would turn into a whole murder mystery?
Hydration. I'm just drinking a few people.
I also witnessed your marvelous sleuthing work. Quite impressive. To beat the Hydro Archon at her own game on her own turf, I can already imagine everyone in Fontaine discussing your exploits over a few glasses of wine.
Oh, Paimon doesn't want to become the talk of drunkards.
Paimon was been in Mondstadt before, that kind of just happens.
Apologies. It's just how Fontaine is as a nation. Everyone loves drama and theatrics.
Uncle Marcel, you've also noticed that other thing, right? The fact that humans can dissolve in water?
Yes, I was reminded of your father's case right away. Is that what you're investigating now?
Yep.
Exactly. I still don't have much solid proof, but I can sense that the other side has already begun to act.
I mean, you could sense that they have begun to act. I suppose you could call 2 assassination attempts on us that. Yes, I have a hunch that something may be off there. It must be the giant robot army coming for my ass.
Oh, and what makes you say that?
We were attacked on air
Yeah,
by
exactly.
some unnumbered Gardamax. And there was also an attempt to get me to drink water from the primordial sea.
Exactly. Navia, sweetie, that isn't a hunch. That is called evidence.
If not for the vigilance of my partner, I probably wouldn't even be here talking to you right now.
Oh, you're giving us too much credit. Wasn't it you who protected us?
Alas, it seems things are heating up again. The peace that Callus sought so dearly will soon become a thing of the past. But rest assured, Navia, Poisson will always remain a safe haven for you. If you're scared, you can always return there. If anyone dares to lay their hands on you there, the Confrérie of Cabrières will use its funds to the last Mora to bring them to justice.
Thank you, Uncle Marcel. But I don't intend to go into hiding. I'm going to strike while the iron's hot. Do you have any new thoughts on my father's case?
About that. Sorry, my age is catching up with me, so it'll take me a while to recall my memory. The Confrérie was responsible for that banquet, so I was out and about the whole time making sure things were running smoothly. I didn't even have the time to drink with the guests. Then I heard the sound of a gunshot, and the rest was history.
Oh, it's okay. No need to push
Of
yourself.
a gunshot.
We'll ask around some more. See if there are any valuable clues elsewhere.
He said a gunshot, but there were 2.
Sounds good. Just let me know if you ever need Mora. All my wealth comes from Callus's patronage and support. I'll spend however much it takes to clear his name.
A gunshot. That's probably going to be the... Although he did say his recollection of it was foggy. Marcel is the leader of the Confrérie de Cabrières and was the organizer of the banquet years prior. Confrea and the Spina de Rosula have always maintained a close working relationship. Those recollection of the events of the case is quite foggy. He is willing to defend Navia. Although you are definitely on the sussy list now, good sir. You are the one I am suspecting the most. Just shooting water in his face. I love the little dramatic Ace Attorney finger point. I still want to know like which of the MiHoYo devs is such a massive Ace Attorney fan that they put all these references in.
We've talked to all 3 suspects, purely based on their conversations with me.
Wait, does that make Furina Fun Karma? Furina Karma, no! Okay, no, we'll have to wait for the next case for that.
None of them sounded particularly suspicious.
I mean the old guy seemed a little off because of the 2 gunshots
Yeah,
thing, but that's it.
That's to be expected, though. If a single conversation's all that's needed to find them out, then my father wouldn't have needed to investigate the case for so many years. Anyway, even though we didn't make a breakthrough, let's still compile what we were able to find.
But where should we start?
At the beginning.
Ah, you're right. Flora mentioned that Callus probably only ended up with the gun because of circumstance. That makes sense.
According to Jacques' family members, he already told them that he had been discovered, and that he had no choice before he left home that day.
Okay, yeah, true, that does.
If I had to guess, he probably received an order from the synth boss to kill my father. Had he refused, he and his family's lives would have been forfeit.
I imagine right now that it could be that he did refuse and ended up being shot for that by the third party. Like the third party was a guy from the mafia who then who was sent to make sure that Jacques wouldn't.
So, Jacques fired the first shot?
Yeah, exactly. If I was Jacques, I wouldn't have
And why is that?
shot at all.
Ooh, that's a good point. Jacques probably already knew that he was just being used as a tool for murder. And once he had completed his mission, he'd be of no more use to his boss.
Exactly. Gotta get food, I'll be right back. Don't drink the locals. I mean, it depends. If Navia wants me to drink her, I wouldn't say no. I mean, yeah, I'll be holding back. I'll be holding back.
So, what would make more sense from his perspective would be to turn his back on the order and seek protection from my father.
Exactly, and then the third person came along and
Makes sense.
fucked everything up.
Without evidence, that's still just a theory.
A court theory! Thanks for watching! And we're back, okay?
Besides Jacques, the attack from the Gardamex has been bothering me quite a bit as well. It's obvious that our enemy has become more antsy after the secret of the primordial seawater was revealed.
Do you think he knew, even then, that we'd follow this lead to the end?
Given everything that's happened since, it's quite possible. But who among the 3 suspects would have the ability to control privately owned Gardamex?
Marcel. Because he'd have the money in order to get them.
Uncle Marcel? My father did really trust him. And they worked together on a large number of projects. Maybe that's how he got to know Jacques.
He'd have the money and he had the whole shot thing.
And with funds from the Confrérie, he could also afford a large number of Gardamex.
Exactly.
Still really hard for me to imagine, though. After all, Uncle Marcel has been around since I was just a child. Also, wouldn't this mean he has been spending a whole lot of Mora and energy to fight his own synth business?
Okay, never mind. I got it wrong apparently. Still think he'd be the most sussy though in that case. Florent won't have the money for it though, right?
Thierry, you say? Huh. It is possible that he's figured out a way to convert the Gardamex for personal use, but I didn't feel like he was lying when he was talking to us about the mecha. I also don't think he'd be able to keep that kind of tampering under wraps.
Yeah. Had he actually tampered with the mecha, we'd be able to prove it with a simple check of the guard's inventory. If the mecha were taken from the guards, it should be pretty easy to find out when and how that happened.
Okay, now, either I'm stupid or this is once again, you have to choose all the options first.
Laurent? It is true that he was closest to my father, and thus had the best chance of learning about his dealings with Jacques. But as Spina di Rosula's advisor, his work mostly deals with personnel and security, so he shouldn't have much means when it comes to finances.
So
Exactly.
you're saying he's too broke to afford a mecha army?
Exactly. He can't. And even if he could, I don't think he would be able to dispatch a whole group so quickly.
Okay, so it's being led on again.
Who could it be?
Apparently none of them. Aha! Let's think then. I still think that Marcel is the most likely.
You know, if you think everything through, Uncle Marcel is indeed the most suspicious
I wonder
of
if
them
this
all.
actually changes anything.
Could we be missing other suspects? Malus didn't know about the people turning into water thing when he narrowed it down to these three, did he?
Malus has always been very reliable, and his judgment of others' trustworthiness has been fair and well considered. When he laid out his case for the three, the rationale he gave me made a lot of sense as well. The suspect is knowledgeable about the Spina's internal affairs, has the means to dispatch Mecha to assassinate us, and possesses significant intellect and foresight. Even if I don't want to believe it, I'm starting to see how things could all tie back to Uncle Marcel.
Yep.
Well, we still have another trump card on top of all the theorizing and speculating.
True, we do have the location of the base.
Yes.
So we have to see if he
Malus
was
did
in the
say that
area.
Charging straight in there would be extremely risky. But we don't have any other options right now. We need far more solid proof before we can hope to go charging in on our enemy.
Navia, here you are. Oh, I've been looking for you.
Huh?
Huh?
Aren't you the guy from the guards? Did something happen?
Yeah. News came from Irenaeus just after you left. We've got another trial on our hands.
Wasn't that place built specifically for holding trials? What's so newsworthy about this one?
I know. But they said the person they're putting on trial is a Fatui harbinger called Tartaglia.
The fuck? Child, what did you get yourself into?
What? Is that someone you know?
I could say that he's an... Let's call him an acquaintance. We do have his vision currently.
We know him. Maybe even a little too well.
Exactly.
Well, he's been accused of being the true culprit behind the serial disappearances case. It's absurd, don't you think?
Yeah, that
Wait,
don't make no
how?
sense.
None of our investigations have had anything to do with him.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what I thought was strange about it, so I came to tell you the news right away. If the charge against him stands, then it'll be next to impossible to get the guards to support any of our planned investigations.
Right. Because they'll think they've already found the culprit.
Yeah. And it'll be a lot harder then to clear Mr. Callus's name.
Why did I suddenly...
I understand. Well, partner, what do you think we should do? We still haven't found any conclusive evidence.
How in the fuck did they suddenly start suspecting Child of all people, though?
Huh? Split up? What do you mean?
No, don't split. Just don't split up. I want to stay with Navia. But you can go to the area while I investigate the...
Just as expected of my part.
I'll be fucking up some drug dealers for you, my lady.
Since this is a trial about the serial disappearances case, The culprit's attention will be focused on Irenaeus, leaving his home base wide open. You're right. This is our best opportunity. Alright then, let's do this. I'll stall them at the Opera House and charge Marcel as the true culprit.
Okay, so Marcel was apparently the right
I won't
choice
have
as
any
well.
chance of making that charge stick though, unless we find more evidence. It'll be up to you to make it back in time and hand the decisive evidence to me.
Yes, ma'am.
Help you, just like you helped us in Lenny's trial.
Demoiselle, please allow us to accompany you.
I'm ready.
Ah, Malou, Silver. When did you two get here?
That's convenient.
We heard that you'll be leaving Poisson and figured that you might require our assistance.
God, I love these two. I honestly kind of hope that these two are involved in Navia's kid somehow. Like, for her ult, she just summons Malus and Silver to fuck someone
It's
up.
our hope that your confidence will be bolstered with the two of us by your side.
Thank you so much. Then, let's make haste for Irenaeus. Paimon, Traveler, I'll see you at the Opera House.
Yes, ma'am.
See you then.
Suspect analysis. Combine the information regarding the Gardamex and the investigation results so far. It can be concluded that you're the only one person who can have a large number of Gardamex in his possession and run the synth business without leaving traces. This person is none other than Marcel, and I'm still wondering whether or not that changes depending on the option we picked. Would be very interesting to see.
Now that Navia has set out for Irenaeus, we
Huh?
should also get going. The location has already been marked on the map, so let's head over.
Hold on, there's a... Wait, we need to splash these with Hydro, I remember. Install Hydro Core. What are these? Miraculous Hydro Guana. Ah. Naturally, a hydro-abundant nation like Fontaine will have such mysterious phenomena as Hydro Guana. After you collect 3 Hydro Guana, they will combine into a Hydro Core that will continuously apply Hydro to the surrounding environment. Even if you have not collected 3 of them, characters can cause Hydro Guana to grow into a Hydro Core if they are continuously affected by Hydro. Ah, so we can just go into the water and have the Hydro Core grow that way. That's neat. We just need to unlock them still. Also, yes, I'm going to keep ignoring that poor little slime here. Now it's dead. Oh, come on, they're leaving at perfect intervals. That's a little annoying. Hold on, let me just delete the slime real quick. And 1. And 2. Oh, we don't have a Hydro Core anymore. Oh, come on. My timing list is constantly off by a little bit. One. And 2. There we go. Now it worked. And 1 and 2.
Find anything you like?
And if we get the other 2, maybe we're going to get the big chest over there. Huh. Does this work? So Nilu's thing basically functions like a Hydro Core in a sense. That's interesting. It doesn't last long enough, apparently. Which is most unfortunate. Wait! No! Don't tell me you're an enemy. Isn't... No! Not the bubble bro! Not the bubble bros. Oh, I loved them in the last event and now they're evil. Oh, game, why? And now I'm basically fucked actually because I only have hydro damage. There we go. Oh! Drop of tainted water? Oh, those are the drops from the phantasm. Right. I thought we got those from the chest. It's interesting that we got furniture chests right away. I think in Sumeru it took until like the second half of the desert for those to pop up again, didn't it? That's very neat then. Oh, why? Now that I think about it, we're going to have to get like a new what's it? A new teapot design, right? All things considered. So there's a fishing spot over there. And the fishing association. Hold on. Let's chat with them real quick. Hello! De la Roche. Patience, patience. There's just a test of my patience. As the director of the fishing association, I must remain by my post here at the fishing point. I shall defeat these line breakers with my unbending will. Well, never mind that for you now. I'd like to purchase some fishing supplies. Of course, take your pick. Ooh. It's actually new bait. And a furnishing blueprint as well. There's the fishing rod. Ooh, that's a pretty one. Also, are those mechanical fish? We got mechanical fish in Fontaine. That's cute. And the metal pipe weapon. Elemental skill crit rate increase is very good though. It's very interesting. And what are you? A self-adaptive tension stabilizer that can be installed on a fishing rod to facilitate fishing. The device can automatically detect and record how hard different fish struggle. The more data it collects, the better the stabilizer works. So, the more fish we catch, the easier fish become to catch? That actually sounds extremely handy for the grind. This device prototype was the pointless invention of a Fontaine inventor that drew little interest for the longest time until the Fontaine Fishing Association discovered it and modified the product into the fish line stabilizer used today. When the device first came out, it was most warmly received by the association members, and now it has gradually been promoted to in other regions. It is an exceptionally hot commodity in the Sniznian market. Word has it that one of the Lord Harbingers is particularly fond of the project, which explains the hype. I cannot speak. I try to speak so fast that I end up not speaking at all. I should just slow down for once. That does sound very handy. Let's get one of those. When you obtain a fishing stabilizer from the various fishing associations around the world, you can use it to assist in fishing. The fishing line stabilizer will be activated by default. You can actively choose to activate or deactivate the assistance of the stabilizer. If you are capturing certain fish, you will obtain certain buffs based on the number of fish of the species that you have caught in the past. For example, when you are within the ideal tension zone, your fishing line will progress faster. That is extremely handy. This is going to make the whole grinding for weapons stuff so much more bearable. I also basically just didn't grind for the for the Sumeru weapon back then, because I just didn't want to didn't see the worth in it, basically. Or rather, it would have not been worth the effort. Weapon is decent enough, but not that good. Although the pipe does sound very strong. Also, it would be fucking hilarious to walk around with a metal pipe as your main weapon of choice. So that's definitely also going to be a factor for me. And we got a luxurious chest.
For you.
How convenient. Lovely. Getting in a little exploration at least. Also, hold on. Let me just heal up the child a little. There we go. Kokomi is definitely a balanced character.
Huh. According to Malusa's info, the synth production base is underwater. Let's go and try to find the entrance.
Right then. I do find it like you see that, right? How it definitely swaps the map. A lot of this stuff is only getting loaded in when you go underwater, which does make a lot of sense considering this is, at the end of the day, a freaking mobile game. If anything, I am very impressed with how quickly it swaps here. Like those load times are literally short enough to be only like they underwater. You can dive up for a moment, bam, and you're down again. And it all swaps very smoothly. It's honestly very impressive on like a purely technical level already. There it is.
Finally found it. Huh. So this is the entrance that leads to the synth production base. It sure doesn't seem out of the ordinary at all.
Hold up a second. Why can we talk underwater? What did I miss? When did we unlock that mythical ability? What? That strikes me as a little bit odd, or am I the only one here?
You're right. An important place like this is bound to have a ton of protective measures and mechanisms. Navia's probably arguing up a storm right now to stall for us.
Well, then why are we wasting time? He says, after working hard to get a luxurious chest. And I'm not talking about Navia for once, and I'm talking about when I'm saying that. I'm say so. I'm a wholesome man.
It would appear that I must repeat my question again, Mr. Tartaglia. Do you accept the charge that you are the true culprit behind the serial disappearances case?
To be perfectly honest, I don't understand your country's complicated court system, or the reason why I'm being charged with something I've never even heard of. However, I did hear that people who have been charged can choose to participate in a duel to clear their name. Is that right?
Of course you would be doing that instantly.
In which case, as long as I accept the charge, I can have an all-out fight with that champion duelist Clorend, right?
Child, no!
I've got to admit, that's one of the most enticing offers I've ever received. When I privately sparred with her last time, she was obviously holding back. Real disappointing.
Oh, child, come on. He's going to get in trouble, isn't he?
Don't you understand? You're currently the prime suspect for a major case. This isn't the place for you to be looking for fights.
Yeah, but this is child we're talking about.
Oh? Sounds like the Hydro Archon wants to lecture me on the ways of the Opera House. Then why don't you duel me too? I'm the kind of student that learns best in the heat of battle.
Child, no!
No. That's not what I meant.
Alas, it would appear that communication with the defendant is going poorly. We have made very little progress.
Child is really just here in the court, like, don't care, didn't ask.
In that case, let me explain everything from the very beginning again. The goal of this trial is to determine the culprit behind the serial disappearances case.
That case had nothing to do with him. You've got the wrong man. Huh? What's going on?
Why is she interjecting again?
I told you it couldn't be one of the Fatui harbingers.
Miss Navia, this is the second time you've interrupted the court proceedings. I only tolerated your behavior last time because you were able to provide the court with a key eyewitness. But that was an exception rather than standard court protocol. I can very well charge you with contempt of court for your interjections.
Oh, please. Did you ever think I had any respect for this place's pointless theatrics?
Oh shit! Navia!
We can put that discussion aside for now. I'm not here to argue with you. I'm here to charge the true culprit behind the serial disappearances case. And if my charges prove true, then Tartaglia here will be proven innocent by default. Correct?
Oh, a young lady has charged in and offered to clear my name. How fascinating. Well, I'd gotten half bored to death by all these rules and procedures anyway. So I'll take you up on that offer.
I'm surprised he isn't actually mad that he won't be able to throw down with Cloint.
So, Your Honor, is there nothing else for me to do now?
You may take a seat for now in the audience, but that doesn't mean the suspicions against you have been lifted.
He's just leaving.
Now then, Miss Navia, who is the person you would like to charge instead?
That person is...
Why do we have to select him again?
Marcel, the head of Confrérie of Cabriere.
Huh? What confrérie? Never heard of them in my life.
I've heard of them, but weren't they Spina di Rosula's sister organization?
Oh, is this going to be a friends to enemies type situation?
Jesus Christ, woman, this is not the point here.
Please let me remind you, Miss Navia, that charging someone is an incredibly serious matter. Committing to the charge also means taking on the legal responsibilities associated with it. And if the charge fails, depending on the circumstances, you may also be charged with the crime of making a false accusation. Knowing this, do you still wish to charge this man?
Yes, I do.
In that case, I declare the charge to be valid. Miss Navia and attorneys, please take your places on the court.
That's actually a little bit I'm actually a little bit worried now, though. Because if it... Depending on how the game does it, it might actually cause trouble for Navia now if I was wrong and it isn't. If it turns out that it wasn't, Marcel.
Members of the guards, please contact Mr. Marcel right away so that he may stand trial.
After some time, a shocked and confused Marcel is brought to the stands.
Mr. Marcel, you will not require an attorney. Is that correct?
Apologies. It all just happened so quickly. I still haven't figured out what's going on. I think an attorney won't be necessary. This is probably just a misunderstanding between me and Navia.
Very well. In that case, since both sides have now arrived, Miss Navia, please present your charges.
I would like to take everyone back to 3 years ago, to the case of Callus the Unfaithful. Only through elucidating what really happened in that case can we connect all the dots for the serial disappearances case.
Navia, do you really think that I was the one who killed your father? Come on, why would I do that? Callus was my benefactor, and remember both you and I only ran to the scene when we heard the sound of a gun. If that's enough to make me a suspect, wouldn't that make everyone at that banquet a suspect as well?
I think there's no point in getting into the specifics right now. The audience doesn't even have the big picture yet. Even I'm struggling to remember some details of that case.
Farina's insulted because she got no clue what's going on.
Exactly correct, Your Honor. I must refresh everyone's memory about that case before I can explain my charge and reasoning.
I see. In which case, I will recount the findings about that case as originally recorded by Maison Gardiennage.
Oh, damn.
On the day of the murder, Spina di Rosula hosted a large banquet in a countryside estate owned by the Confrérie of Cabrières.
Oh, so we do have a whole thing here. I thought we were just going to have like a short intermission that where we see that stuff is currently going down in court, but we're actually here. That's interesting. We got the versus screen again.
During the banquet, all attending guests heard 2 gunshots from the courtyard. When the guests arrived at the scene, they found the primary suspect, Callus, holding a gun, while his acquaintance, Jacques, lay dead from a gunshot wound. The guards' investigation did not recover any other firearms from the scene. As a result, they concluded that the suspect's first shot must have missed, while the second must have taken Jacques' life. The suspect did not dispute this conclusion, and also declined to defend himself in court. Instead, he chose to prove his innocence through a duel. Callus was defeated by champion duelist Clarande in the ensuing duel, and soon succumbed to the injuries. These are the known facts about the case.
Right then. Time to refute those claims.
The one with the motive to kill was Jacques, not my father. And even so, Jacques still had no reason to pull the trigger. In truth, the third person shot Jacques first, and was shot in turn by my father when my father seized the gun from him. After that, the true culprit turned the third person into water, erasing all traces of him from the scene. Thank you for the summary, Your Honor. Of course, the guard's conclusion appeared quite sensible to us at the time.
Oh, so we skipped the gameplay section because we're not playing Navia.
However, we should revisit the case now that we've gained new information about the abilities of water from the primordial sea.
Never mind. I have been refuted. Oh, the banquet was also owned by the Confrérie of Cabrières. That's interesting. That's new. 2 gunshots. Let's see these. No. Did not bring a gun with him. No, never mind. Alright then, let's try to figure this one out. On the day of the murder, Spina hosted a large banquet in the countryside estate owned by the Confrérie de Cabrières. Do we have anything that has anything to do with that? Doesn't look like it at first glance. Who had a motive to kill?
The
That one.
testimony of the victim's family confirms that Jacques had thoughts of assassinating Callus when he set out for the banquet. How unfortunately for Jacques, the true culprit had already considered this possibility and had sent out another assassin.
Third person on the scene, that would then be clothing of an unknown person.
First shot Jacques, then turned to shoot Callus, only for Callus to wrestle the gun from him and kill him instead.
Which means that...
A pile of clothing was found at the scene. The guards once believed they were used by Jacques as a costume to disguise himself. But now, it is clear that the clothes were proof that there was a third person at the scene, and that they were turned into water after committing the murder.
Whoops, I skipped something again, goddammit.
Realizing this, the true culprit caused the hired assassin to dissolve into water, leading everyone to believe Callus was responsible for Jacques' murder. This is the true version of events.
Do you have any proof for that? That's the unfortunate part. Successful refutation. Hooray!
So that's what happened. Wait, you're telling me something as dangerous as water from the primordial sea has been used for all these years?
I mean, the missing persons the missing people stuff has been going on for 20 years, so obviously.
What a great theory. It also explains Callus's and Jacques' respective motives. I guess they didn't shoot each other after all.
Mr. Marcel, you are the one being charged with the crime. You should provide a rebuttal if you wish to prove your innocence.
Ah, but I think I agree with everything Navia just said. In fact, there was nothing in her speech that directly implicated me.
Then, may I ask some questions? In my opinion, we primarily need to determine two things.
Oh, look at that, Furina's actually being useful for once.
One, do you have the evidence to back up your claims?
I'm afraid not. At least not at this very moment.
Boo! If you don't have any evidence, you should just go home!
Oh, shut up, you.
I may not have the evidence with me, but I know where I could go to collect it. If we look up the deserted clothes against a record of people who went missing around the same time, we should be able to find a match. Considering the serial disappearances case, the guards probably kept careful records of all missing persons from around that time, regardless of age or gender.
What did I miss? Well, a lot of things, I'm afraid. Quite a few things. We're in court now. So that happened.
That makes sense to me. Monsieur Neuvillette, I would consider this to be a reasonable investigative direction.
But hey, recommendation, through the power of YouTube, you can just go back, you should be able to just go back and pick up the stream where you left off, if you really wanted to. Or you could just end up watching the archive after to check that out. Which is two of the reasons why I'm choosing to stream on YouTube rather than the clusterfuck that is Twitch. But that's just my opinion, of course.
Why do I feel like Furina's acting a little differently today?
Right, she's more capable, which is weird.
Maybe she's scared of embarrassing herself again?
Alternatively, she's become more diligent after charging an innocent citizen in the last trial.
It isn't going to be a several Archon situation again, is it? Because we know from Oceanids that they have a bit of a hive mind going on.
My second question has to do with the ensuing duel. If the truth is indeed as you described, then why didn't Mr. Callus explain himself in court? If he had testified that a person had been dissolved, he could have at least mounted a defense.
Yeah, and who would have bought that?
I've thought about this too, and the answer is actually pretty simple. He felt there were things that were more important to him. The dissolving power of water from the primordial sea is an important secret for the true culprit of the serial disappearances case. My father could have exposed it for all to see, but he chose to take it to the grave. At that time, Spina di Rosula was in dire straits, and his reputation had already been shattered. He had no guarantee that going forward with the truth would allow the culprit to be brought to justice. What was certain, however, was that it would paint a gigantic target on my back.
Boss once told me that Demoiselle had already been selected as the next target of the serial disappearances case.
What?
If the secret had gotten out, the culprit would have fought an all-out war with Espina right there and then. I wouldn't have been the only one in danger. All of us would have stood to lose our lives. Of course, the guards might eventually figure out the truth of the matter and determine that we were in the right, but what good would that do? How can a hollow verdict protect anyone? Had this opera house ever given my father any kind of confidence in its brand of justice, Spina di Rosula would have had no reason to exist.
Oh damn, now you're throwing shade.
But by staying silent, we retain the ability to deter our opponents and continue the stalemate. I was able to become Spina di Rosula's president, which made me harder to target, as well as giving me more time to grow and learn. And once I have figured out the truth and stepped up to the challenge, I will do what this opera house cannot, and restore my father's truth and honor back to him.
It's also very telling that she keeps calling this an opera house and not a court, because that is essentially what she sees it as.
So, you mean to say, your father intended to die in the duelist's ring?
That's right.
Do you have any proof?
Of course. All you need is to ask his opponent, Clarand. I don't need your apology, your guilt, or your support from the shadows. You don't have to do anything for my sake. But since he entrusted his will to you, Clarand, you should tell us the truth about his sacrifice.
So, during the duel, did you believe that Callus was intending to die?
Yes, I did. As a champion duelist, I've fought many battles and taken a countless number of dishonored lives. In my line of work, I've seen all kinds of people give their all for the faintest hope to continue living. Some were determined, others passionate, and some even manic and twisted. Just one look and I can tell if a duelist is hoping to live or if they're looking to die. I hereby swear on my name and honor as a champion duelist that Mr. Callus never intended to leave the ring alive.
Holy shit, the drama here. This is heating up.
Since that's your testimony, I have no more questions. It appears there really are good grounds to reopen this case.
I concur. However, Miss Navia, you still have not explained the link between your father's case and the serial disappearances case.
We have literally the parallel of people dissolving, Neuvillette. That should be enough.
Right? What she said was fascinating, but kind of beside the point.
Wait, weren't they just talking about the serial disappearances case?
Of course, Your Honor. The two cases are connected via a matter of timing.
Also, Navia confirmed that she was the next target, so...
In my father's case, the culprit intended to kill both Jacques and Callus. As a result, they planned to act after hearing 2 gunshots. And, at the end of Linny's trial, the culprit also only dissolved the victim in front of everyone because they realized they were at risk of being identified. The culprit could only time their actions so precisely if they were already at the scene. Coincidentally, Marcel attended both the banquet and the trial.
Oh, yeah, that's also a good point. I forgot about that one.
So that's why you suspected me. Even after hearing your reasoning, I still can't help but find it a little preposterous. I'm used to it, though. You've always been an impulsive and sentimental child, Navia. It's one of your most endearing traits.
No need to appeal to pathos.
Yeah, exactly.
I won't try to refute your points one by one, but even if everything you just said was true, can you prove that I was the only person present at both events? On top of that, does a person have to be physically present to control the timing? Can't someone remotely monitor the place?
That's a good question. We don't actually know that yet.
Not what she can say to that.
I know that even with that, you might still think you can reduce the list of suspects with some further investigations, until I'm the only one left on the list. Alas, who won't feel at least a little hurt by an accusation of murder from a girl you see as your own daughter?
That's a little...
But if I were
too much appealing to emotion.
You'd also think I'm not being considerate of your feelings. Ah well, let Uncle Marcel teach you another lesson. Do you know what the biggest flaw in your reasoning is?
I suppose you're gonna tell me anyways.
It's timing again. I'm a businessman by trade. From that standpoint, there's no reason for me to kidnap young women. It's a high-risk action with nothing to gain. In addition, I left my home in Snezhnaya when I was young to come to Poisson and work in some trade. My business only thrived when I received Callus's patronage.
Oh, left my home in Snezhnaya. He's another Fatui, isn't he?
But the disappearances began before I ever stepped foot in Fontaine.
I do apologize, Demoiselle. This was my mistake.
No, it's not your fault. I'm sure he had come prepared.
He's the Fatuia dissolving people, and he took over the operation around the time that her father began investigating it.
Is there anything else you'd like to say? Would you like to check the date of my first business license against the first known case of the serial disappearances? You can also take a look at my border entry records, or ask my friends and family when I left Snezhnaya for the first time. Could those records and testimonies do something to appease the unspeakable anguish in your heart?
Seems like she got the wrong guy. At this rate, Navia will be convicted for falsely accusing him.
I think you've done a superb job of dissecting your father's feelings as he neared the end of his life. But aren't you going against all of his wishes and expectations right now? He wished for you to become more rational, collected, and conscientious, instead of dwelling only on your own feelings. Once you've learned to be more considerate of others' feelings and to stop rushing headlong into things, you'd have met most of his expectations.
This isn't just about me, and it never has been. The biggest difference between me and the rest of the victims is that I still have the ability to search for the truth. While that same agency has long been taken from them, the people whose families were destroyed by synth abuse, the people who lost their loved ones to the serial disappearances, and the people who suffered tragic ends due to their sense of justice. Many people's images are flashing before my eyes. I'm sure some are coming to those of you in the audience as well. And whose image do you see, Marcel? Is it a man named Vache?
Oh shit.
Oh, so you do know that name.
Oh shit.
I'm merely surprised you'd suddenly say the name of someone I've never even heard of.
Oh shit.
I was waiting for you to say that.
It's all coming together. Oh, of course, now I swap back. Oh, motherfuckers. Things were just getting juicy. Holy shit, what a leap! Damn! 5 stars for the Traveler.
Hold the line. Hey,
Right then, more robot dogs.
This dance is for you.
Luckily, Nahida, with her signature weapon, absolutely explodes everything. So I shouldn't have too much trouble, depending on the combat we run into.
is it because of this mechanism in the middle? That guy really prepared a lot of stuff for this place.
This is how the domains look in Fontaine, though. That is pretty sick. I really love the whole pseudo-science, pseudo-cyberpunk-ish water-themed gear aesthetic.
Paimon thinks we need to go up, but Paimon doesn't see a way. Let's take a look around. Maybe we'll find a hidden mechanism that'll show us the way up.
Are we in the water? Right. Hello, I'm under the water. How does this work again? We take your ability, create a wall, and BAM! There we go. Smashed right through it. Although how these gears and all that don't have a significant amount of rust considering how damp this place must be, is beyond me. Also, this statue looks, I don't know, the aesthetic of the statue reminds me a lot of the stuff you saw in Economia or the Kanria stuff, which is mildly concerning. Although it might explain where Fontaine actually got their technology from. Because if they got all their tech from Kanria, that would actually explain a lot. Also, oh god, this is a water temple. We now have water temples in Genshin, oh no. Oh shit, oh fuck. Hold on, let me just swap to the protagonist so we can... And... Never mind, that didn't work out as I wanted it to. Without a jump then. Broken statue? Oh god, all these books and records are close to a bunch of water. That is also a recipe for disaster, if you ask me. Pew 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 pew. Those are new. Little spider bots. Cute. The hydro application from Hydro Traveler is actually pretty good though. Might actually be. It's probably not going to be Dendro Traveler in terms of usability. It might actually be worth a shot. I mean, this ability lasts very long and it's just constant instances of Hydro. Could be interesting. I wonder if they're going to be any builds here, or any teams rather, that utilize them well. This Hydro application is one of the best things that a character can have still.
Now the path is clear. Let's go.
After all, Hydro application is the thing that made Xingqiu and Yelan so strong in the first place. So now if the Traveler has that, that might actually be interesting. Although I suppose their Hydro application was off-field, while the Traveler's on-field. Then again, I never claimed to be a Genshin impact meta expert. I just like having fun with goofy shit. Which is why I play stuff like physical damage Chi-Chi. Also, those are two very big boys. With a very dramatic entrance, apparently. This feels a lot like I'm about to fight like a water steel type gym leader in a Pokemon game. Oh god, he got guns.
I see everything. Rest and rebuild.
There we go, that's all of them taken care of. I should probably level the talents for Traveler though. At least sometime soon. Although for a drug factory, don't see a whole lot drug manufacturing.
Though, as expected, the mastermind isn't here.
Exactly, it's in the court right now.
That's right. Then let's hurry up and find some evidence so we can get back to the Opera House and help Navia.
Oh, there are a ton of chests though, that might be where they store the stuff. Maybe we can try some? Get some for personal use? I'm kidding.
Aw, it's a bunch of really cute things. Pink accessories, a hair tie, a necklace, even a makeup box.
That doesn't sound like drug dealings though.
Oh, Paimon sees it too, but why are all these cute things labeled with different girls' names?
Never mind then, yeah, that does make sense.
Huh? You mean the girls from the serial disappearances? They were brought here, and then they were turned into water, and all the boxes of things. These names. That means... Oh, this is terrible.
It's a femboy closet. No, not quite, I'm afraid. The missing persons possessions. Oh god. Being dissolved must be a fucking nightmare as well, good lord. How did this game get away with that without raising the age rating suddenly? Oh god, there is a pool here. And I can't enter it for obvious reasons. Oh god, no, I don't like the implications here. Let's talk to this thing first.
What's this over here? Looks like some kind of place for research. Experiment number 16 aims to verify Jacob Ingold's research conclusions on the primordial sea, and use his theory as a foundation to achieve a breakthrough. The experiment was a failure. No individual managed to resurface from the water from the primordial sea. Female specimens 22, 23, and 24 were dissolved.
Oh no! Paimon, sweetie, you could go if you want. It's fine.
Sorry, Traveler. Paimon will try her best. It's just that Paimon's never read something so scary before.
It's okay, come here. I'll take care of things, Paimon. It's fine.
Write something that terrible in such a matter-of-fact tone. You read the rest. Paimon's too scared to keep going.
It's okay, Paimon. Oh. The goal of the researcher is to save his lover, a woman called Venier, who was dissolved.
So that's why he did all of these experiments. But did he really think he'd be able to find a way just by dissolving people over and over? That's just insane!
There's another name here, Vache.
Huh? Is it that
Oh.
Paimon thought he was an eyewitness in the serial disappearances case.
He's the researcher.
You mean Vache is the one who did all of these... experiments?
Yes, he signed off on a bunch of the experiment reports. The voice I heard from the fountain was probably Venier.
So that's it! Vache was no victim, but personally took his lover and... No, that's not it either! If that's the case, why would he want people to resurface from the water?
Maybe she was dissolved on accident and he tried to undo it somehow, but for that he needed to experiment on others and he didn't want to risk killing her for good.
In any case, Paimon will write it all down.
Experiment number 16. Okay, yeah, that's just the text we already heard.
Let's see what's written here. Nothing escapes Detective Paimon's eyes. Callus. Navia's father. Oh, this is
Interesting.
the investigation report on him. Yep, it's about finding someone to assassinate Jacques and Callus because of a lack of confidence that Jacques himself would go through with it.
Maybe Vash isn't like the leader of it though, but more like a scientist working for the drug mafia. And maybe Vignette basically dissolved because of overuse?
This should prove the existence of the third person, right?
Could be. Anything else?
We still have not determined the exact content of the key information Callus has passed on to certain members of his organization.
Aha!
The old dog's a real menace to deal with. Even if he abides by the promise he's made to us, he will still have the upper hand. He can act whenever he wants to make our lives miserable. The only option left is to remove him from the picture entirely. I concur. Let's send someone to kill him. He won't declare war as long as we don't touch Navia. Oh, seems like we've got a bunch of correspondence between the higher-ups.
Huh, interesting.
They're all just so evil.
Paimon making the controversial statement that drug lords may in fact be evil. How shocking. How controversial, how brave.
Oh, look! There's an important-looking basin over here, and it's full of water.
Must be either water from Primordial Sea,
That means
or where they dissolved them.
and that special water is the main ingredient.
It would have run out in the 20 years, though it doesn't look like there's that much of it.
If you dilute it with normal water, you'll get synth, but the pure stuff can dissolve a human. Paimon will take notes on this incriminating evidence.
Pool found within the HQ is filled with water from the Primordial Sea. The mastermind can use this to create synth and directly use it to dissolve people. We still haven't found anything about the what's his face? About Chuck though. And not Chuck, Marcel, I mean. Did I miss anything? Hold on. There's something. Examine bottles.
Whoa! There's so much synth here! And so many bottles of ingredients that probably just contain the waters of the Primordial Sea.
There's so many.
Mixing in progress, Ready to drink? Stock sample? Huh. They've also got all the synths pretty clearly labeled.
Well, at least they got it organized. And no, they weren't drinking people. They were just drinking people from the water of the primordial sea. Stop trying to drink people, for the love of God.
Whoa, there's even fruit-flavored synth?
Paimon, no!
Yep, it's super obvious.
Symph. Popular potion circulating quite widely. It gives the drink a very pleasant experience for a short time, but its side effects are equally strong. The producer uses these special characteristics to earn massive profits from its trade. Paimon, please don't take drugs.
Here, and it seems like our theories were spot on, but...
Oh, Vache might just be.
We haven't found anything that reveals his true identity. No
Marcel.
wonder even Nervalette wasn't able to find anything. Whoever it is probably destroyed everything to do with that name a long time ago. That way, even if we bring all this back to the opera, we won't be able to identify the true culprit. Sure thing. Paimon won't admit defeat to this guy either.
It's my suspicion at least that Marcel might be Vache, or at least related to him, and he's definitely related to him in some form, but the question is just how. Did we just do that? Bottles of symphony water from the primordial sea. Okay, yeah. Nothing else here seems particularly noteworthy. Why could we figure out anything about the name though? No trigger here either. There is something here.
You take that side and Paimon will take this side. Check everything carefully. We'll find something for sure.
Yes, Paimon.
Nothing at all. And Paimon can't even find snacks either.
Paimon, now is not the time for snacks.
Whoa, really? Let Paimon see.
Ooh, what did we find?
Vinny?
Diary?
Isn't that Vache's lover's name?
Looks like a diary.
Then you found her diary. Let's see. Aw, it's just a normal diary chronicling their love story. She was so sweet too. Oh, Paimon feels even worse for her now.
Oh no. She made a list of baby names. I can't read that.
So many. A whole page's worth. But they're all crossed out. Was she unhappy with all of them?
Well, choosing a name is difficult.
The final name she decided on was Marcel.
Marcel Og.
Wait, but Marcel's pretty old. Has this case been going on for so long that he's Vache and Vinier's grown son?
No, I don't think so. I think Vache just changed his name to what would have been his son had Vinier not been dissolved. Which also means she was dissolved while pregnant. Which might just be one of the most fucked up things that has ever happened in the entirety of this game. By a long shot.
Paimon still hasn't figured it out.
Well, at least in the main story, we have the whole nation that threw kids into the fires of the sun. But that's not part of the main story. Let's ignore that part of the lore for now. Let's keep instead dissolving pregnant women. What the fuck, game?
And whose image do you see, Marcel? Is it a man named Vache?
Not a name.
Oh, so you do know that name.
I'm merely surprised you'd suddenly say the name of someone I've never even heard of.
I was waiting for you to say that.
Hello! Sorry, Novelette, we're breaking to court again.
As expected of my partner. I just knew you'd return in the nick of time.
Just how often do you intend to flout the rules of this court?
Sorry, Novelette.
It's all
Kind of
right,
important.
Monsieur Neuvillette. Given their confidence, I expect they've found the crucial evidence.
That we did. Say you never heard of Vacher.
But the truth of it, Marcel, is that you've always been Vacher.
Holy shit, voice line from the protagonist.
Huh?
We've investigated your lair and we already know everything. After your lover, Veneer, was dissolved, you kept abducting young women to experiment on the hopes of bringing her back to you. You even created Marcel as a new identity and destroyed all records of your past as Vacher.
So that's it. Even the villains in opera performances rarely go that far. And with that, Marcel's motive has now been established.
This information regarding your past also dismantles your prior timing defense. Well, Marcel, do you know where you went wrong? You fixated your gaze on the lover that passed away, instead of paying attention to the living people around you. So, you never noticed how we changed, or how we grew as individuals.
You also never understood Boss's real expectations for his daughter.
Or our determination to see things through.
Your determination.
Okay, yeah, evil love. He's
Mr.
busted.
Marcel, please speak up now if you would like to defend yourself. Otherwise, the trial will move on to the next stage.
Do you really think I wanted to do any of this? Pay attention to you? What for? Have you ever paid attention to me? Ever empathized with my pain? Ever known how it feels to watch the love of your life dissolve right in front of your eyes? No one helped me. No one even believed me. All those decades ago, even the officers from the Maison Gardiennage were laughing at me. They said there's no way a human being can turn into water. So I must have gone mad from grief. Vignere's death was brushed away by all of you as if it didn't matter at all. Well, now you know, don't you? Ha! Well, it's too late now. All those who were dissolved are gone forever. You only have yourselves to blame. You set up this ornate opera house in pursuit of your so-called justice, your beloved drama, while turning a blind eye to the suffering of the people. Vignere is dead. We promised each other that we would always be together. Wherever she goes, I will follow. But I'm not from this blasted place. So I can't be dissolved. No matter what I do.
Oh god.
Hey, is that water from the primordial sea that he's drinking?
I can't dissolve. Can't dissolve. Can't dissolve.
Oh god.
See? I can't go. I can't follow. So if I can't go where she is, what choice do I have but to try to bring her back? I did all of that, and in the end, that accursed Callus still got the better of me. I spent my entire life living on pins and needles, only to get stabbed by his idiot daughter at the very end.
The suspect is exhibiting signs of mental distress. Guards, please restrain him.
Mental distress, I guess we could call that. I would say, Your Honor, the accused is fucking insane.
Don't touch me! Don't anybody come near me. I still need to save Vignere. Our promise. We made a promise. Vignere, please, Vignere. Don't think badly of me. All I want to do is fulfill our promise.
At this point, the verdict of this trial is clear. With Mr. Marcel's conviction, the charges against Mr. Tartaglia no longer have any basis.
Fine by me. I was in a bad mood, but after a show like that, I'm actually feeling pretty good.
Oh, I'm thinking he would probably be pissed that he can't throw down with Cloint now.
Traveler, please submit all the evidence you have collected to the guards, so that I might review and summarize the truth behind the serial disappearances case.
Yes, Your Honor. Yes, Your Dadness.
The man now known as Marcel was originally named Vacher and worked as an adventurer with his partner and lover Vignere.
Oh, we're getting Novilette's summary of events again.
During an underwater expedition, Vinier accidentally came into contact with water from the primordial sea, and was dissolved in front of Vacher as a result. Vacher learned of the primordial water's existence through the work of others, and began to kidnap young women for research, with the goal of discovering a method to restore Vinier back to life. To cover his tracks, he invented the new alias of Marcel, and began to operate a business in Poisson. During the course of his research, Vacher discovered that a diluted concoction of water from the primordial sea can induce feelings of euphoria, and began to manufacture and market synth.
Also, though, that means he wouldn't have had any family in Snezhnaya.
However, as he accumulated wealth to fund his continued research and expanded the scope, he came into conflict with Spina di Rosula. After exchanging blows with Spina di Rosula for many years, Vacher decided to assassinate their president, Callus, at a banquet. Although the assassination did not go as Vacher expected, he was able to turn Callus into the murder suspect by dissolving the assassin he sent to the scene. And just recently, Vacher attempted to frame Linny as the culprit of the serial disappearances case, using a similar method. However, his attempt to frame Linny failed, and the power of water from the primordial sea became public knowledge. This case also exposed enough of Vacher's machinations that he was eventually successfully charged in court. Thus concludes the enigmatic history of the serial disappearances case, with the truth revealed to all.
Yay!
The Oratrice will now deliver the final verdict regarding the charges against Mr. Vacher.
Why is it even? That's the thing that I predicted happen now, perhaps.
According to the judgment of the Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinale, Mr. Vacher is guilty.
Never mind.
Guards, take Vacher away.
Even Farina made sense for once during that trial.
It's what he deserves.
With that, the serial disappearances case is over now.
We really just witnessed history. Who would have thought the true culprit would be such a polite and well-spoken guy?
Well, that's how it usually goes.
We helped Navia bring the bad guy to justice!
Yippee!
He's hurt so many innocent people and now he's finally getting what he deserves. Huh? Are you okay?
Give her a moment. She got closure after being tortured for like 5 to 6 years.
Demoiselle, you were absolutely brilliant.
The day our late boss had always hoped for has finally come. You can rest easy now, knowing justice has been served.
Yeah. Yeah. It's finally over. It's all thanks to you guys. And my partner. See, Papa? Spina di Rosula's still doing well with me at the helm.
It's only going to be doing better from now on.
Well now, hasn't this been a most delicious piece of drama? The villain has been caught, justice has been served, past wrongs have been righted, and it's a big ol' happy ending. Since it's been such a great show, I'll just let the false accusations against me slide. Either way, I've still got some business to attend to. So, if you'll excuse me...
Please wait just one moment, Mr. Tartaglia.
Uh-oh.
What now? None of this has anything to do with me.
According to court protocol, since this trial was initiated due to a charge against you, a verdict must also be made regarding the initial charge before the trial can conclude.
Oh, come on. Is this really necessary? Haven't you already caught the real criminal? Isn't it time for side characters like me to exit stage left?
Also, kind of fitting that Tartaglia is complaining about it, considering the Fatui have a theater motive.
Please respect the laws of Fontaine. This has always been the rule.
All right, but this sure is a lot of hassle. All I need to do is stand over there, right? Let's just get this over with.
Now the thing I predicted is going to happen. And I still want it to happen.
Presented in the public trial that was just held, it has been established that Mr. Tartaglia has no direct connection to the serial disappearances case.
I still need it to happen that Monsieur Neuvillette and the Oratrice disagree. Because the Oratrice for some reason tries to find someone guilty who who is innocent. I need that to happen. It's so obvious that it has to happen at some point. Otherwise they wouldn't keep making such a huge point out of the oratories and Neuvillettes connection to it.
The guilty party has been
Come
identified.
on! Hit
Thus,
me!
It is logical to suppose Mr. Tartaglia is innocent of the charges. We now turn to the Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinale to render the final verdict on the charges.
Come on! Hit me, game! Do it! Coward! You won't!
According to the judgment of the Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinale, Mr. Tartaglia is guilty.
Called it! Ha! Eat shit, game! I know your tricks!
Hey, hey! That's not funny! Didn't you just say I'm supposed to be innocent? What's with this verdict? Is your justice machine malfunctioning?
Huh? This has never happened before. The Oratrice actually returned a different verdict from the Chief Justice.
I mean, have you ever heard of an innocent Fatui Harbinger? Do you think the Oratrice might have just convicted him on general principle?
The Oratrice is racist!
But weren't the charges about the serial disappearances case? No matter what else he's guilty of, it shouldn't affect the verdict in this case, right?
The judgment of the Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinale is, by law, the final verdict of the court. We must accept the guilty verdict. Guards, please take the suspect into custody per court protocol.
What? Cutscene? Oh, he ain't having any of it.
So this is how justice is done in Fontaine. What a joke. You've got your rules. Well, I've got mine too!
Oh shit. Oh, we still have his vision. Oh god, we still have his vision with us. Child cats! Get this man his vision, for fuck's sake. Oh shit, he's actually going Super Saiyan. Holy shit! Holy!
If you have been wronged, we will find the truth. But the rules of the court must be upheld.
Did
What's going on? Shouldn't they have been cleared already?
Did Neuvillette just fucking one-shot of a Chewy Harbinger? What are you? Holy shit!
Apologies. This is also the first time I've encountered such a situation. However, according to the rules established at the conception of Fontaine's court system, the Oratrice's judgment is the final verdict of the court.
No wonder nobody dares to put anything into question here. Man's the judge, the jury, and the executioner. Holy shit!
All I do is follow court procedure. As for why the Oratrice arrived at the conclusion it did, you should probably ask someone more knowledgeable than me.
Well, Farina, why don't you come down here? We have some talking to do.
Why are you looking at me? I had nothing to do with it. I don't know what happened there either. Hey, stop staring at me!
Oh, damn.
What does Lady Farina mean by that?
She says she has no idea either, but that's impossible. Didn't she create the Oratrice herself?
She sounded extremely panicked there.
Yeah, so are the verdicts reliable or not? Can results like this really be called justice?
Oh, that's why. It's all falling apart now.
My dearest citizens, did you really think we'd allow an incorrect verdict to be handed out in this court? Did you really believe that the judgment could be mistaken or be the result of some sort of random mishap?
Now she's trying to bullshit her way out of it.
Don't tell me You thought even I had been blindsided by the Oratrice's result.
But the way she looked just now, it was pretty obvious she had no idea what was going on.
Did she, like, swap personalities? Maybe my hive mind theory has some ground after all.
However, given the state of things, I shall give you an explanation. Everything that just took place, including my supposed shock and bafflement, was a part of an elaborate performance, with every action meant to stir up drama and excitement. And, of course, for every performance, there is a script. Everything has unfolded exactly as I expected from the very beginning. As the embodiment of the very concept of justice, the Oratrice shall never render an arbitrary judgment! If you thought Child had nothing to do with the serial disappearances case, it is only because you've been blinded by the superficial appearance of innocence. Everything he's done, not to mention the danger he poses, are beyond ordinary comprehension and completely unforgivable! All shall be revealed in time. You will come to understand my noble intentions, as well as the absolute correctness of the Oratrice's verdict.
That's a bit of a too crazy laugh, Rowena.
Having said that, although I hate to leave things hanging in suspense, it is now time for this performance to end. As the lead actress, I shall be the first to take my leave. Toodaloo!
So she chose to make her escape after all, did she?
So you're saying we shouldn't put much stock into what she just said?
Navila is so done with her.
She probably just put on that performance to save face. As for the truth, it's unlikely that she actually has any idea. However, please be assured that I will continue to investigate this case in a personal capacity. Just as I promised, if the judgment has been incorrect, we will do our utmost to clear his name.
You still kinda just sentenced him to what God knows what, though.
Alright. Even though we feel pretty badly for him, we'll take your word for it for now.
Even if I'm still scared.
He's done plenty of bad stuff, so he should have known he'd go to prison someday, right?
Tragedy repeats itself. Anything left to say?
That power you showed when you took him down. Who are you really?
I'm the Chief Justice of Fontaine, of course. If officers of the law lack the strength and capability to enforce it, then it makes a mockery of justice.
Well, that's a little ominous. Right then, though. Let's head outside, shall we? Is Navia going to try to chat with us?
Hey, what are you doing? Quick, stop him!
Oh god, he's running away.
Traveler! Hey! Traveler!
The fuck do you want, you insane bastard?
Doing over here?
Stop resisting arrest! Cease, or we'll add another charge to the list.
No, wait! I just want to ask the Traveler something. I'm not looking to run away. Please, please, just let me ask this one small thing.
Go on.
Thank you. Thank you. I was being led away when I finally realized something. Where did you first hear the name Vache? I erased all records of that name. So, unless...
Are you still trying to prove your innocence? Give it up. You've already been convicted.
Yes, we did see her.
Really? You did? You're sure? You met her? But how could that be?
It was
How
around...
did you manage to do it?
It was around the Fontaine of Lucine. Something to do with my sensitivity to the hydro element.
The Fountain of Lucine? Then she's been so close to me all along. And I just never... Please, please give me a chance to talk to her again. Just let the Traveler take me to the fountain to see her one last time. This is the last request I'll ever make in my life. You can do whatever you want to me afterwards. I don't care.
What? Give an inch and you want to take a mile? Do you think serial killers get to make requests like that?
Paimon agrees. Why should we give him what he wants when he's only done a ton of super terrible things?
For vignette's sake.
This request, is it worth as much to you as your life?
Of course! Wait, no. It's worth even more than my life.
Humans. Will they betray the instinct to live just to satisfy spiritual needs?
Didn't expect criticism of the legal system from Genshin. I mean... there are a lot of things you wouldn't expect from Genshin. Also, yeah, the way he said human, Snivelet is not human. He's definitely the Hydro Dragon that we keep hearing about.
Very well. I will grant your request.
Your Honor, I fear that...
I will go with him. You do not need to worry about any escape.
In that case, I shall leave him in your most capable hands, Chief Justice.
Thank you. Thank you, Your Honor.
Aww. Hold on for a moment, though. Just want to check something out real quick. Because... did hear something about people getting up there. There isn't any door or anything like that, is there? You can't climb the walls while inside a building either, can you? No. So how did people get up there? Because I saw some screenshots of people sitting down in Furina's seat. Oh well. Oh, the scene is about to hurt, isn't it? Hello, fluffy one.
Is this the place? You said she's here, but what do I need to do to see her?
Back then I drank water from the primordial sea and heightened my sensitivity to the hydro element.
Yeah, and even Paimon could hear her after drinking that thing. Didn't you just drink a lot of it on the stage as well? Oh, in that case...
Vache!
Ah!
Yes, that's it! So you heard it too!
Oh no.
Vinier, it's me! It's me, Vache!
Vache? Vache?
I'm here! I'm here! Where are you, Vinier? I'm coming for you. I'm finally here for you.
Hey, wait! Be careful! Hey, wait!
What's he doing?
Vinier, is that you? It's me, Vache! Vinier!
Vache? Why did you come? Didn't I say? You don't need to look for me. You look a lot older than I remember. How long has it been?
It's been more than 20 years. I've suffered for over 20 years since the day you left. All this time, only the thought of bringing you back has kept me alive. Nothing else mattered to me. I must be dreaming. Who would have thought I'd get the chance to tell you all of my feelings like this? Vinier, you are my everything. I really don't know how I could live without you.
But Vache, if you ask me, this world would be better off without you.
What?
What are you saying?
If not for you, I would have finished my law degree and probably become a top-tier attorney one day. If not for you, I would have continued to pursue my love of the arts, and my works would have been displayed in the Palais Mermonia itself. If not for you, I would at least have been able to take care of my mother. And she would not have grown old and died alone. With nothing but tears on her cheeks. It's all because of your selfishness, Vache. It's all because of you.
Wait, you are not Vinier. Who are you?
You're right. I am not Vignier. I am the sacrifices.
Oh god, Vignere merged with all the people he killed.
Every woman who died by your hand, as our bodies dissolved, our consciousnesses flowed back to the primordial sea. Our thoughts circulated endlessly within the primordial sea, and we were no longer individuals, but we became one, just as streams of water come together in the sea. I'm Cressy. I'm Lemony. I'm Azine. The only one I am not is Vignier.
Why? But then, where is Vignere?
She doesn't want to see you anymore. Every tendril of her consciousness is avoiding you. This is what you get for your selfishness. Your selfishness robbed us of our lives and our futures. You said time and time again that you'd do any and everything for her. But did you ever consider whether she'd want to see you do the things that you did? If she would despise you for what you became? You are a liar, a heartless murderer, and a cowardly narcissist. The only thing you are not is Vignier's beloved.
That feels good. Not gonna lie, that one feels good.
From the moment your first victim died and her consciousness merged with Vignier's, she has had nothing but pure hatred for you.
Looks like I didn't meet Vignere back then either. They must have wanted me to learn Marcel here from the very beginning.
No! Vignere! She can't hate me. Let me see her, please. Have mercy.
You still don't understand. When I said don't look for me, that came from the real Vignier. She really doesn't want to see you anymore. But on top of that, she also said that because it's her final drop of pity for you. She said that because she knew that if you did come here, we will show no mercy to you.
Vache.
Vache? Vache. 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 Vache.
Oh, that's... Holy shit! What creepy pasta shit is this? Later the guards find that the culprit have lost his soul. What? Several days. I couldn't even read that. Hold on a moment. Hold on. No. I'll have to pause the video and read all that. Holy shit, that was terrifying. Now it's raining.
Finally, we have some time to do shopping. Gosh, it's really been a long time since we've been able to relax.
Hold on. I have an idea. Because I am very big brain, I have an idea. Can I just... Yes! Go. Hold on. Yes, I just pulled out my own my own stream to read that. There. Later, the guards find that the culprit of the serial disappearances of young women case Marcel appeared to have lost his soul. However, the final report from the physician states that he died of a massive fright. Holy shit. My legs are killing me. Well, other things killed Rachel, apparently.
Well met, partner. I knew something great was going to happen when I woke up in such a good mood today.
Even this weather can't put a damper on the demoiselle's mood.
It's a pleasure to see you both again.
That was all mine, Silver.
Oh, hey, Navia! It's been a few days. Paimon's already started to miss you.
Oh, now that I believe. I'm easy to work with and always bring home the bacon. Who wouldn't treasure having a partner like me?
I mean, I would argue instead of bacon, you're more so, you know, considering your abilities and all that, you're packing an entire bakery, but that's just, that's just me being hungry. I'm sorry. I have a type, leave me alone.
Sounds like you're really enjoying life these days, Navia. What have you been busy with since the trial?
It's just been one thing after the other. I've been making non-stop trips between Poisson and the courts in Sen.
Oh, she's now also started calling it the court instead of the
Everyone from
Opera
Spina di
House.
Rosula organized a memorial for my father. We never held a memorial when he first died, since everyone knew that even if we held one back then, no one was going to come. This time, though, everyone in Poisson, and even many people from the court, all attended.
So his name's definitely been cleared now. That's what we like to hear.
It's been the dearest wish of Demoiselle all along.
That blasted stubborn fool. I was right to put my faith in him. I'm so glad I didn't give up on the case all those years ago.
Things turned out as well as they could have. Well, except for the fact that Child is currently still in jail, so we have that one to worry about still, I would argue.
Oh, by the way, I ran into Charlotte just after I left the memorial service.
Oh, hey.
Well, maybe it'd be more accurate to say I knew she would be there, and there was no way she'd just let me go.
Huh? So you know Charlotte too? The Charlotte? Journalist from the Steambird?
Yeah, way back when I first became the president of the Spina di Rosula, she was all over me. Wouldn't take no for an answer.
God, I wish I could be all over Navia.
I believe the story was called The True Heart of Darkness, Secret Tales of the Yellow Rose. To be fair, though, it was a really flattering feature. So, we've been on pretty good terms ever since. She was trying to lean on our friendship to get me to do an exclusive piece on the serial disappearances case.
Oh yeah.
Oh, so even Charlotte got her thing.
She's always been super interested in that case, so now her wish has finally come true too.
Anyway, I told her to make sure that when she writes about you guys entering the opera house with the critical evidence, that you both sound really cool.
Well, we're experts at being cool.
Haha. That's another thing to look forward to. We trust Charlotte's skills with a pen for sure.
Look at that smug smile.
Oh, and in other news, I also took Clarand out for a meal.
Oh shit! They got their date!
While you were investigating Vache's headquarters, Clarand gave testimony on my father's behalf. It was thanks to her that we were able to turn the tide. I wanted to thank her. I mean, there's also no point in being awkward all the time, so we took the chance to reconcile with each other.
Oh, that's great. Paimon also thought Clarand wasn't actually a bad person. It's always good to have more friends.
Yay!
Anyway, now that the case has finally been solved, perhaps it will slowly begin to fade from the public consciousness. Oh, actually, there's still one last thing I need to do.
Please say it's me, please say it's me, please say it's me, please say it's
I
me.
should pay a visit to my father's grave.
Oh no, I feel bad.
The truth of what happened, as well as how it all ended.
Anyway, let's move on from that swiftly, shall we?
On top of that, just how much people still look up to him, to this day. That includes me, too.
Miss Navia.
Indeed.
We want to go too. We also think Callus is a really admirable person.
Sure thing. I'd like you two to share the moment with me. After all, without you, there might not have been such a positive ending.
And in that case, everyone, let's be off. Considering the recent weather, we'll be lucky if we can reach Poisson before dark.
Yeah, you're right. It's been raining non-stop for a few days now.
Oh, it's been raining non-stop for a few days because Neuvillette has been very upset from the recent happenings because of the whole Oratrice debacle and the situation with Vache. That does add up.
This is where my father's grave is. To be perfectly honest, even I haven't been back here for a long time.
Huh? There's someone there already. Wait, that figure. It can't be.
Hello.
Isn't it
Neuvillette. Called it.
Why would the
Knew it!
Princess be here? Huh? Navia?
My apologies. I should have asked before coming to pay my respects.
Don't say that.
Sorry about that.
Oh, I was trying to say there's no need for you to apologize. I wanted to show my father how much I've grown, but still, I doubt I've grown to the point that even the Chief Justice would feel compelled to apologize to me over and over.
In that case, I will stop apologizing for now.
You really could use some pointers on understanding human emotions, Monsieur Neuvillette. In any case, why did you come to Poisson?
Well, ever since that day, I've been turning a question over and over in my head. Just what is justice anyway? There was once a time when I didn't want to believe that there could be anything more important to humans than life itself. Oh, rather than that, it's probably more truthful to say I didn't believe humans were capable of resisting the most basic instinct of living things. That they could rebel against their own nature, or consider certain things to be more important than their own lives. Which is also why I didn't stop your father from beginning that fateful duel. I believed that a truly innocent man would never throw away his life like that. That there was nothing, should have been nothing more important than one's own continued survival. But Mr. Callus proved me utterly and decisively wrong. If not for his sacrifice, the serial disappearances case would have remained unsolved to this day. Mr. Callus made the choice he did for his daughter, for his associates, and for many people completely unrelated to him. And in the end, from a certain perspective, one could say that he did it all for the sake of justice. A justice that's higher than life itself. So, you asked me why I came here.
Even Neuvillette sounds like he's about to start crying now.
I just wanted to say my apologies to Mr. Callus in person. I should have noticed all of this much sooner. This regret has filled me with a sadness that has haunted me for days. That high and mighty chair in the opera Epiclese indeed insulates one from many important things. Spina di Rosula, thank you so much for your hard work and perseverance.
I'm sorry for being mad at you before. So, you're actually one of those types that's cold on the outside, but pretty thoughtful on the inside, huh? That reminds me of Silver, one of my guys.
Suppose you could put it that
Sorry
way.
about that. Self-expression is not one of my strong suits.
Didn't I just say you don't need to apologize?
So Navia and Neuvillette seem to have made their peace as well. Let's not disturb them for now. We can wait till after they're done.
Following Navi and Neuvillette, you also pay your respects to Callus. Oh, and it stopped raining after he talked to her.
Paimon's never paid respects at someone's grave before. Did Paimon do anything rude there?
He's still standing there, obviously. He's still standing there ominously. Also, Paimon, you're not usually supposed to fly around someone's grave. Wait, around someone's grave? No, I'm picturing Paimon just floating around the tombstone like, wee!
Paimon didn't know that was a thing. But Paimon doesn't know what she would do if she can't fly. Oh no. Paimon hopes Miss Navia won't be too mad.
Wow, they took it seriously. Alongside, once again, the smuggest fucking grin in all of Teyvat. Oh, Traveler, come on now. Don't be mean to Paimon.
Still standing around there. It's not often that we can catch him alone like this, so why don't we go talk to him for a bit? If we can't talk to Lady Farina, we can at least talk to him, right?
Yeah, but I'd still also like to ask Farina if she is okay. You okay there?
Paimon's really sorry, Navia. Paimon did something pretty disrespectful just now.
Paimon, no!
What are you saying, Paimon? I don't think I get it.
Well, Aren't you not supposed to fly around someone's grave?
Huh? Who told you that?
Hey, traveler! Why did you mess with Paimon again?
The way Paimon slowly turned toward us like you. Oh, sorry, Navia. I am required by law to troll Paimon at every single possible convenience.
Oh, it's you two. Did Miss Navia invite you to come pay your respects to her father?
Yep.
Mm-hmm. We ran into Navia on the streets today, so we just followed her here.
I see. Then is there something that I can help you with?
Few things actually. How's child?
Well, it's pretty hard to run into you like this since you're usually super busy. So we figured we could try to ask you a few questions, if that's okay.
Please feel free. Though outsiders, you helped us solve one of the greatest mysteries in Fontaine, and it would be my pleasure to return the favor.
You're welcome once again. We go into a nation, solve a massive problem, refuse to elaborate further, and leave. So, how is child?
My apologies. My investigation has still not reached its conclusion. However, I still believe the judgment of the Oratrice was not rendered arbitrarily.
But you also said you thought he was innocent.
For many years, I have been quite aware that the Oratrice does not simply mechanically repeat the verdict that I give on each case. As a divinely created mechanism, the people's unified faith in the concept of justice is integrated into it. Not only can it produce the incredible power of indemnitium, but it likely also possesses other traits, such as self-awareness. Which is all to say, I have been prepared for a situation like this for a long time.
Interesting. Although, could that mean that the Oratrice is just suspicious of Fatui?
So when Linny told us
Oh well,
that he heard a
harbingers.
human voice from the room where the Oratrice's core is stored...
I was not aware such a thing had occurred. Perhaps that could serve to prove my conjecture. I will add that to the list of items to investigate. In any case, I am inclined to believe that the Oratrice does have a methodology all its own. We just do not have enough information. Based on Farina's reaction, I doubt even she had any idea what was going on. She managed to bluff her way through it, though, with her time-tested twin tricks of bravado and drama.
Villette sounds so done with his Archon.
While we do intend to get to the bottom of this, for now, we regret to say that the Fatui Harbinger will just have to bide his time in the fortress of Meripede. If we did incorrectly convict him of crimes he did not commit, we will most certainly compensate him to the fullest extent allowed by the law.
If you ask Paimon, the only compensation he'll want is a no-holds-barred fight with you.
That's true. Considering Novelette wiped the floor with child, he is probably itching for a rematch.
Is there anything else you'd like to ask me about?
Several things. So... I doubt he knows anything about the siblings, so let's save that one for last. Oh, actually, before it forces us to move on.
Another blonde-haired traveler. I'm sorry, but I've never seen anyone who matches that description. If she ever stepped foot in Fontaine, I'm sure she followed our laws to the letter, and had no reason to appear on the stage of the opera Epiclese. Is there anything else you'd like?
Yes, please. So about the whole primordial sea thing.
At court, the bad guys referred to that special water as water from the primordial sea, but what is it really?
Wait, primordial? This isn't stuff about the primordial one, is it?
Truthfully, that name is already quite accurate. I can only surmise that Vacher and his ilk only learned of its nature and existence after extensive research. There used to be a special sea on the surface of this planet. The nature of its seawater was rather different from that of the sea we know today. Most of Tevat's life forms were first born in that special sea. You could say it nurtured much of the life on this planet.
Oh, it is.
Huh. So it really was where everything began. It makes sense to call it primordial then.
But today, the primordial sea no longer exists on the planet's surface. What
Exists
Vacher discovered
under.
must have been some kind of special case, or a remnant from a truly ancient
Or
age.
that.
Huh. So that's how it is. Oh, you really know everything, Monsieur Neuvillette. But If that's the case, then why would people, at least people from Fontaine, dissolve in that kind of water?
Indeed. Why would the primordial sea, which was known to engender and nurture life, suddenly reverse itself and devour life instead? To be frank, that also doesn't match my understanding of this world and its laws. There must still be some unknown secrets around the people of this land.
Guess we'll be figuring that one out in the next part of the Archon quest.
Is there anything else you'd like to ask me about?
So about the whole prophecy.
That the sea levels will rise and everyone will be dissolved in water, leaving Farina crying alone on her throne, but the sins of the people will be finally washed away for good.
Wait, everyone will be dissolved in water and sea levels will rise. What if it's not talking about like the normal sea, but it's talking about the fact that the primordial sea may be rising again?
Does that appropriately summarize the version you've heard?
That's right! It was Linny that told us back then. And that about covers all the main points.
Yes, up to the present, I think we reached a point where we have no choice but to confront this prophecy directly. Rumors have it that this prophecy is rooted in the last words the former Hydro Archon left to the world before she passed away.
A prophecy? Of the former Hydro Archon? Wow.
That's very interesting.
This is the first time that we've ever heard of it.
But didn't the former Archon die in Sumeru? How would the people of Fontaine know their last
Two
words?
parts of the prophecy have already proven correct. The rising sea levels and the ability of the people of Fontaine to be dissolved. We should be more vigilant and stay on the watch for further signs. Speaking of the prophecy, Farina has also always taken it quite seriously. Indeed, she has been collecting information and intelligence from across Tevat for this purpose.
Unless, you know, Farina's between the cataclysm, between if Fontaine changed Archon in the last 500 years, I guess it would also still make sense.
If the rumors were true, then perhaps this prophecy is the conundrum left to Farina by her predecessor.
Please give us the name of her predecessor, that would help.
But with Farina being the way she is, can we really trust her to solve it?
Is there anything else you'd like to ask me about?
I have no more questions.
Very well.
Thank you.
It was my honor to provide you with what answers I could. I very much enjoyed conversing with you.
Oh, that's all ours.
It will soon be time for me to leave this blissful tranquility behind and return to Palais Memornia.
You really are super busy, Monsieur Neuvillette. Paimon thought you only came here to pay your respects today because you had the day off.
Justice never sleeps.
Crime and villainy do not have the day
Exactly.
off, and so justice must work around the clock as well. This is merely the nature of a justice's work.
Alright, you've got a point. Huh? Paimon just noticed that the rain has stopped.
Because Neuvillette is happy again. Swain falls without reason. Quest completed. Oh hey, we actually got a thingy for that. Ah. Hold on. What do the constellations even do? Picking up a water droplet will regenerate energy. Got it. Movement speed will be decreased. Oh, that's actually good. That's a shield. Oh, so you can turn the Traveler into a healer. That's interesting. But well then, I suppose. Oh, we actually got. Right, another nation, another Catherine. Let's do that one real quick. Let's do that one before we leave it. Before we leave Fontaine behind for a while. Hey Catherine, we have now finally officially arrived in Fontaine. How do you do? The water is going in interesting directions. At Astro Abyssos. Welcome to the Adventurers Guild. Is there something I can help you with? It's Catherine! Again, this one must be a puppet too. Perhaps. Is there something I can help you with? Are you looking to take on a commission or send one out? I'm just taking a look. I see. If you run into any guild-related issues, you can come and ask me. I will provide the utmost service for you and answer all answerable questions. Then we thank you for your contributions to the guild, adventurer. We wish you smooth travels. And I believe, with that one, we now have daily quests in Fontaine unlocked, don't we? Hold on. Adventurer Handbook. Guide. Fontaine! There we go. Commission region has been set to Fontaine. Lovely. So now the grind can begin until we unlock Novilet, Farina, Navia, and everyone else. Lovely. Although, I suppose, with the Archon quest done, I suppose this will also be a good time to end the stream for now then. And, well, end the Genshin streams for a while, at least until we once again unlock the next Archon quest and continue on there. I'm probably going to take the next days often if it comes to streaming, all things considered. Mostly due to the fact that I will in fact be at Gamescom the next week, for, well, the majority of next week. So I'm looking forward to that. I'll be in Cologne with a couple of friends. And I will definitely be annoying the fuck out of them by continuously dragging them to the Genshin and Honkai Star Rail booths. And they will not be able to stop me. I will spend so much time and also so much money there. But that's... I will tell you all about my trip when I return. And after I return, conveniently enough, there's actually another game coming out that I've been looking forward to a lot that will be releasing while I am at Gamescom. Feel free to guess which game that might be. But we are going to be playing that one as soon as I return. And I can't wait to finish that game. I've been looking forward to that one for a while, so that is going to be fun. But until then, my name was Michael. And whether you're... And I hope... Well, I'm fucking up my own intro because I'm trying to... My own outro because I'm trying to say too many things at once. But hey, you should be used to that by now. Where was I? Right. I hope I will see some of you with me for the next project. Until then, though, my name was Michael. And I do hope you all have a fantastic day. Bye for now. Goodbye. Bye-bye.